So this is the energy of the month of April. This is Elitza. We're here with the lovely Tamara, and we'll be using some of our favorite cards to navigate through the energy of April. Okay, are you ready with your cards, or do you want me to start first?
Just about. I'll let you start first,
Okay.
and I will get this.
So how are we going to do this? We're going to ask, and I really love the suggestion from Tamara to use three very important questions of what are important things to know for the energy of the month, and what we need to release, and what.
I think what we need to be aware of that
Mhm.
we might not see yet.
Okay.
Something that's coming in that we might not see yet. Give us some awareness around those energies, I think would be
Okay.
ideal. Yeah.
So let's take a deep breath in, tune into the heart space. I'm not going to use my pendulum today. The first card that I pulled was the confidence of your magician's sword. Sword. Yeah.
Sword. Yeah.
It's like
Is that on fire? Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And when I'm looking at the picture, it's like a real fire. I can see it.
That's like the color is very vibrant.
Color, very vibrant. So to me, it's all about like solar plexus energy. And so like expressing your power, expressing yourself into the world. And it's like almost penetrating, but it's like in a good way, like showing and making a difference, making an impact with whatever it's like whatever you do, whatever it's your craft, and really having confidence that you know your things, you master of your craft, and
Yes.
it's a powerful month for you, whoever is watching, and for both of us to step into our power and to move out with confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the second card that I pulled with the question of what are things that we need to release, was that the second question?
Yes. What we need to release. Yes.
So it's like it's a very interesting card. Sacred contract.
Interesting.
Right? But it's like a blank piece of paper where you're a master of your own destiny. You can create the things that you want to create. There are no limitations, right? It's all about
Anything.
you trusting that you can do. But the thing with that is that not all the time we know what we want. Right? How many
Yes.
times it's like, I want this. No, I actually want that. Or how many times we can decide what we want. And we end up wanting things that are not actually what we want, but are things that are from the outside. Like maybe your friend is wanting the same thing, or your parents are
Yes.
wanting the similar thing,
This
and then
is
you adopt it.
100%. So that is the theme for this week for discussion, because I've been talking to a lot of people about that. And it's those rose-colored glasses that we have for ourselves. And sometimes when we're engaged with other people or talking with them or living with them or whatever the case may be, what's happening is those perceptions from their rose-colored glasses fog ours, if that analogy kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So when we have that coming into our experience and we're basing our decisions and our thoughts and our processes on other people's experiences, other people's expectation, other people's perceptions, it fogs and distorts our own. So being sure that we come from a space that's ours and not other people's, right? That's huge for this month. That's been a big discussion for me this month.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the third question was, can you remind me tomorrow again?
Third question is something that may be coming that we're not quite aware of yet, whatever energy that is, whatever feeling that is, something that's something we're
Look
not
at
aware
this.
of.
Deep dive.
I feel like we're already doing that.
Yes, and we're laughing because we had this great discussion before we press record that it's really time for us to actually step in to that calling that both of us, we have been hearing for the longest time. And it's like all the time you hear this or you feel this nudges from the intuition, like do this, go deeper, practice more of this. And we're like, well, later, oh, this is not the time, or what
Mm.
other things people would think about it, right?
Yeah.
So this is perfect, not only for us, but I feel for many people to diving deep into a task. And a lot of what from my observation, are people are, we live in the culture of where things have to happen really quickly, really
Yes.
fast. Like people get rich overnight on Instagram or Facebook. You see all overnight successes. And we all are living in the impression that you do one thing and then boom, done. It's success, right? And for some people maybe that's the case, but for majority we do really need to do the work and master the craft that
I
we have.
agree. Yeah, and I think that with society the way it is now, there's always the next best thing, right? We're always striving for more, and we're
Mhm,
always striving to finish this, to go that, and doing spiritual bypasses or emotional
mhm,
bypasses, which prevent us from doing that deep dive. When we are able to go through that deep dive and feel that deep dive, whether it's emotional release, pain release, whatever the case may be,
mhm.
that is where everything grows from. That's where everything comes from, right? Our movements, our decisions, all of that. It comes from our core. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
And we need to show dedication. We need to show commitment to what we're doing, and it's like a daily practice of
Mhm.
what we have, our craft. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I love it.
Mhm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So Tamara, what do you have for us?
So the first card for the energies of April,
Mhm,
correct,
mhm.
is called the Spiral Dancer.
Mm.
So this one, a woman has her hand out, there's light coming up, and there's a spiral coming through it. There's little butterflies or fairies glowing in the corners. So, like, I believe that she's all about her own rhythm and her own steps. And we only hear our own music. So dance like you,
Mhm.
no one's watching. Like, and who cares, right? Like, bring ourselves to that inner knowing, inner peace. And that path will take us to where we want to go. I think
Mhm.
that that's the spiral dancer is all about moving forward. We're spiraling up, we're moving forward. Everything is there,
Is there,
right?
yeah.
For us, in front of us.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think that it also kind of represents adventure experience. So we're aware of our past and we bring that knowledge into our future and we allow that part of us to grow even more. Everything is like blooming, right?
Mhm. 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 Yeah, and I feel that it's this card you pull ties really beautifully with the
Yeah.
sword, right? And even the colors are like you see the fire, you see the even here
Yeah.
I can see the fire as a spiraling up the sword. So it's like
Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful message.
Yeah. It says
So
here too that in every step that we take is perfect no matter where we
mm,
take it.
yeah.
So it's always that, like, it's a reminder too that our path, our destiny is seldom straight. We're always going in every which way direction, right?
Mhm.
It's not straightforward. It's an
No,
experience. It's a journey. Yeah.
absolutely. Love
Yeah.
that.
I like that too. Second card, you're gonna have to remind me what we said now. um, what we need to let go of,
Let
right? Is
go
that
of,
right?
yes, yes.
Yeah. So this one is interesting. So this says the High Lady of Love and Compassion,
Mm,
reverence, kindness, and consideration. So this one here is
mm.
a whole bunch of fairies.
Isn't she a fairy as well? She has some wings, right?
Yeah, it's like she's a fairy and then she has fairies around her and little birds and just being in nature, like she kind of blends right into the grass. She's like part of Mother Earth, right? So that connection.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. So I think for this one, it talks about love, right? So love is real and it reminds us that love is real. So in moments where we might have tension or challenge or anything like that, if we come back to the feeling of love and what that feels like to us,
Mm-hmm.
we can move forward and step into our power.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a very heart-centered card, I feel
It
like Mother
is,
Earth,
and like
heart-centered.
absolutely, and it really ties up very well with this sacred contract that I pulled as well,
Mhm.
because from the place of love, when you are centered and grounded in your own beliefs and your own truths, this is where you focus on the things that you desire, not
Mm,
everybody else around you.
exactly. And we can also see all the synchronicities that have brought
Mhm.
us to this place. And that because we're coming from our own heart space and not others' heart, like not through other people's perceptions, that it's a pure and truer path for yourself.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Kindness and consideration. Like those are powerful words too.
Powerful.
Kindness
Yeah.
and consideration. So as we're letting stuff go, I think we have to have some, like, there's consideration within each thing and each process and each thought, action, whatever the case may be, of letting things go, whatever that is, to give ourselves that consideration, give ourselves love, give ourselves kindness, and allow things to flow in the way that we need them to for us, not anyone or anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Very powerful
Mhm.
card. Hmm.
Yes, I love that. So then the next one is about what do we need to know that we don't know?
To do, yeah, and to do.
Yeah, what's coming ahead that we may
Hmm.
not be aware of?
Hmm.
Okay, so this one is, I really like this one. Um, it's called the Winged Wise One. Wise Ones, I should say. This one here, the keywords, angelic help and miraculous aid. So the outside of it is this bright, bright purple, which to me is like that upper chakra, right? Like that.
Hmm. Third eye, yeah, connection with the divine, yeah.
Mhm. And then there's doves, some feathers, her feathers, and behind there's like these this energy that's coming out from her, right? It's just,
Hmm. She's glowing.
yeah. And there's little dots of like orbs within that energy, which, yeah, that's pretty beautiful. So this is what may be coming that we may not know of yet, right? That feels like it feels very divine, right?
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm not sure that I know that deep down inside, we know that we're all connected and
Yeah.
we are the divine expression, individual expression on earth, but we forget.
Yeah.
And we get too much into our human brain and mind and try to
Mhm.
figure things out.
I think having that connection, so the angelic help, the divine, the miraculous aid, knowing that we're not alone.
Mhm.
Yes, we're all connected, and we also have these beautiful guides and angels to help us that we can lean into and ask for assistance whenever we need it.
Mhm.
So I think that no matter what comes, whether we see it or not, it doesn't matter, because we do have the support that we need around us with
Absolutely.
all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that we are coming into an age where we need to strengthen our connection with the spiritual world. We do need
Yes.
to dive deep
Yeah.
into this connection and to really
Yes.
balance it out, that human aspect and the spiritual aspect, and move on with that.
Yeah. And I think that's where the dive deep and this one comes in to play. So the diving deep, we're taking a look at the past, possibly things that have happened to us, trauma, anything else that may have come up in our lives that we're now dealing with completely or
Mhm.
thoroughly. Doing that deep dive and knowing that we have that angelic support, that
Mhm.
divine support, and that as we move through and feel what we need to feel about whatever we're going through, that when we come to the other side, we are only going to create more. We're going to have room and the capacity to see what our present and future may look like.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
with that. I think that having that higher consciousness and that higher connection, that spiritual connection you're talking about, is
Mhm.
so important for me personally. Yes.
Yeah, for me too. Yeah. So do you have any guidance on what we need to focus on, like self-love, self-care?
Yes. I do have a card deck that I would like to pull from.
Okay.
So with this card deck, it's an oracle card deck about self-love. So what I'm going to ask is for the month of April, what it is that we as a collective
Mhm.
need to know about how to treat ourselves and be with ourselves, in the sense of, how can I love myself? How can I come to myself, right? So we'll just shuffle these. This is going to tear me up, because we had this conversation before. Ooh, like this hits close to home, like it really does. So we talked about co-creating the
Mhm.
last time we had spoken. So this one here is about working with others creates new possibilities.
Mm.
Cooperative relationships leads to greater growth. And the beautiful
Oh.
picture is a spiral,
Mm.
and they're interconnected, and I'm speechless, honestly. Just the whole picture is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. It's not a competition. We are all in this together to support each other. And if you
Yeah,
look at the world this
having,
way,
yeah,
it's much more, we go with the flow. We go
and
with,
having, yeah, exactly. And having that, oh, like, can you imagine the possibilities? Like, it just like, it excites me and it makes me feel so open, because when we have the support of others and we're helping each other and supporting each other without ego, without expectation, we're just there to help.
Mhm.
The possibilities are limitless. They really are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I do want to pull a card from the Archangel Raphael Healing Oracle cards.
Okay.
They're really pretty green color with this gold thing. Like, oh, every time when I see them, I'm like, oh. um, and they give really practical guidance of the things that we can actually do to nourish our body
Mhm.
and our environment. So again, I'll have the same. Can you remind me again the question? How did you? Because
How did I put that?
you put them very like beautifully.
I know, and I don't remember because it was like right there and it just came out. Um, just what we need to know, not what we need to know. For the month of April, how do we love ourselves? How do we come back to us? How do we do that? That feeling of self-love, basically. Yeah.
So, as I said, these cards, they're giving really interesting, like very good action steps of what things you can focus on the month. And for this one is alternative medicine.
Mm.
And with all the modalities that we have available right now, we have Reiki, we have access bars, we have tuning forks, we have massages, we have you name it. So many things are like acupuncture, crystal healing, um, theta healing. I like there's so many things that are there to support our bodies and nourish our souls to be able to really connect with that truth within us. So
Mhm.
I love this card actually. Um, yeah, dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for guiding me to the ideal healing treatment modality and for giving me clear signs and messages to validate the best path for my well-being. So he's like, I don't know if you can see, but there's like a rainbow.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of
the
the light.
energy.
Yeah.
And what I like about that is it's so our heart chakra is
Mhm.
in it goes into our hands, right? Like that's
Absolutely.
part of the heart chakra. And to have that energy coming through that, I
Hmm.
think
Yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty.
I love it. I love it because like I do believe because we are human beings and we are spiritual beings and we
Yes.
need to nourish our souls, yes, but we do need to nourish our physical body as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, in order to become balanced. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we can't have one without the other. We
Hmm.
may be, like you said, a spiritual being, but we also have a human body that we have to nourish. And if we're not doing that in a way that helps us, then we're no help to ourselves or anyone else, right?
Absolutely.
It's yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely nourish that.
Um, okay, do you have any last
Um,
message that are coming through for the month of
um,
April?
I just what was the first card? And we were talking about it about, oh, like other people's perceptions, because
Mhm.
that's been a big thing for me for discussion, like since the beginning of April here, and we're only on the fifth day.
Yeah.
Um, I think for myself personally, um, with that thought, I have already begun to make steps for myself because a lot of that has been my life where I have always taken into consideration other people, what they think is best for me, what they think I should be doing with my life, or how I should be doing things. And I have really felt a shift in myself because the boundary is no. Right,
Mhm.
that boundary is no more. Like I have a boundary, meaning I will not do that anymore. What I'm doing for is I'm living for myself. No one else can do that.
Mhm.
I can do that. And if somebody is telling me how I should love myself based on their experiences, that's not my life. That's their
Absolutely.
life.
Mhm.
So when I'm in conversations and things like that are coming up, for me, it's going to be a new experience expressing that I am living my life for myself. And
Mhm.
that, yes, I appreciate what you're saying. However, you've lived your life, those are your experiences, and it's my turn now.
Yes.
So I think that for me has been like out of all of the card reading, that was like the most impactful and the most like right there on point, like I said, because there's been a few discussions this week about that. So that's my big takeaway from the
Beautiful.
card
Yeah.
reading
So
today.
once you gain back the ownership of self, the shifts could happen very quickly.
I agree. And they happen faster than you even, like a person, not you, but in general, a person can realize, because I'm experiencing it right now, right? It's phenomenal how no matter how small of steps we take or we think we're taking, when we stop and reflect and look back and go, holy crap, like, look how far I've actually come. I don't feel uncomfortable with this anymore. I'm not in fear of this anymore. That in itself has brought so much power back. Yeah. And I'm a little emotional, as you can tell.
All right. Yeah.
My words, like, let it out. Yeah.
Yes. Well, it's a beautiful message to end our conversation for discussing the energy of April. Looking forward to the next month. We're not in a rush. Let's enjoy the April first.
Absolutely.
I love this the conversation, and let us know how you feel the energy of April.
I will, and I would like you to share with me as well. So, absolutely.
Bye.